All right, so you're here. You've clicked the video because you've been thinking probably what every trader in the world who has even tried to trade has thought, and that is, I'm just gonna give up, I'm just gonna throw in the towel. But if you click this video, this is your sign to keep going, okay? Nothing worth having, I know it sounds super cliche, but nothing worth having comes easy. You gotta keep going. You gotta remember your why. Your why in trading is always the most important thing to bounce back, okay? So whether that's, you want to spend more time at home with your family, you want to supplement your income, you want to pay a couple of bills, you got to remember your why, okay? And there's multiple reasons why you ended up here. Could have been that, you had a poor trading strategy, or you maybe had a good trading strategy, but you may have not stuck to your strategy. Whatever it is, I'm here to tell you that you can bounce back. Stay tuned. We're going to talk about some ways to come back from some losses or a blown account. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Mel, and today we're going to be discussing ways to bounce back from a major loss or a blown account. If you haven't been there before, if you're new to trading especially, it's more than likely going to happen at some point. If you trade at all, most of us have taken some type of loss that we wish we could have kind of came back from, but didn't take it all. I remember I was trading one day. It was raining outside, which made the scene set up just 10 times worse, but it was raining outside and I lost like $1,200 in 15 minutes. And I don't think it was about how much I lost, it was how fast I lost it. That can really just like kill your confidence. So in this video, we're going to be discussing ways to bounce back from a major loss or even a blown account. Okay, so before we go any further, please go ahead, like, subscribe, please share my video, help me grow my channel, and also, spread the word, spread the news to others around you. I'm trying to help a lot of people reach financial freedom, whether it be investing in stocks, changing your mindset about how you feel about money. So yeah, just go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. Okay, let's get into the video. Okay, so I'm going to give you 3 ways to bounce back from a losing account, and it's not complicated. Honestly, we're probably having this conversation because you overcomplicated your whole strategy. It's not complicated. Trading is, a matter of fact, easy. A lot of it, what you'll learn as you go on, is it starts here. A lot of trading is psychology. Like 80 to 90%, in my opinion, is all psychology. So with that being said, you just need to start with the basics. Go back to when you were a winning trader and think about what you did or what you didn't do to, take these major losses. For me, I remember when I first learned how to trade, I was always winning trades. And, people say, oh, beginner's luck. But I think a lot of it is ignorance is bliss. When you start to learn how to trade and you really dive deep into it, you start trying to find other things, whether it be like the news, or you start adding indicators that you didn't use previously. And then you're like trying to guess where the market may go instead of just using the basics of your plan or your technical analysis. So number 1 is start the fundamentals. Go back to the basics. Remember when you were a winning trader, and don't overcomplicate it, okay? Don't go off the news. A lot of times we'll watch the news, especially in these times where it's been a lot of talk of tariffs. So you'll have I've spoken with people who will like put on puts, or they'll go short in some instances. And I'm not saying don't buy puts or don't go short, but what is the chart telling you? Always pay attention to what your chart is telling you. Don't try to bring in outside things to force a trade and then you're wondering why the trade went against you. Okay, so stick to your plan. Go back to the basics and drive with that. Okay, don't try to overcomplicate things. So number 1 is start with the basics. Okay, so step number 2 is you need to refine or define your trading plan. Okay, so define your trading plan. If you don't have a trading plan, if you've never had a trading plan and you're just out putting on trades, that's more than likely why you're losing. You need to actually define a plan and stick to it. But if you've had a plan and you maybe have been going on a losing streak, you need to maybe refine it, okay, and stick to what you say you're going to do. So these are 3 things that I do before I set any trade to make sure that, I'm more than likely not going to go on to a losing streak. So the first thing is my reward to risk. I'm always going to establish my reward to risk before I put on any trade. And by that, I mean, I'm going to be willing to make more than I'm losing. For me, a high probability trade is at least a 3 to 1, meaning that I'm willing to make 3 times more than what I'm willing to lose. And that has worked for me. In my risk management video, which I will link in the description box, I discuss ways I go about setting this, how I find levels, and it's a really good video, so check that out. So always establish your reward to risk. In that, number 2 is you need to make sure you need to establish how much you're willing to lose before you put on any trade. And by that, I mean, okay, so it's 8:30 in the morning for me. I'm on Central Time. If you're fixing to get ready to trade, you need to know that, okay, I'm only willing to lose $100 per trade, or I'm only willing to lose $100 per trade, and to go any further, my max loss for the day is going to be $300. Okay. Because if you don't, you're going to start throwing Hail Marys. You're going to start putting on trades where you're losing, or you're risking $200 here, $100 here, $300 here. And before you know it, by the end of the day, you've lost way more money than you originally set out to lose. So always define how much you're willing to lose before you go into a trade. And then the third thing is you want to make sure you're defining 3 things before you go into a trade. This is what has worked for me. Okay. You need to find out what your entry is, your exit is, or your stop loss, and then you need to find out what your take profit is before you put on any trade. Okay. So in step number 2, once again, you want to refine and define your trading plan. The 3 things that have worked for me is, number 1 is I want to establish my reward to risk. For me, 3 to 1 or higher is where I normally draw the line. Number 2 is I need to say how much I'm willing to lose before I even put on the trade. Okay. So if I say I'm going to lose $100 per trade, $300 per day, that's what I'm going to stick to. If you lose $300, you're out the game. You'll start again tomorrow. Okay. And then number 3 is you want to establish your entry, your stop loss or your exit, and then your take profit, which is also another exit. Okay. So those are the 3 things that I would do to redefine or define your trading plan. Okay, so the fundamentals and defining and refining your trading plan, maybe you get that. But honestly, the most important thing here is step number 3, which is getting your confidence back. And the one way that I have done things in the past when it comes to me maybe feeling discouraged, because it's easy to feel discouraged when you go on a losing streak, especially with trading. You've lost all your money and you feel like, oh, I might as well just go back to plan A. But you've gotten so far, and I want you to remember that just the fact that you're even trying to take a step to change your life in itself is something big. So don't turn around, don't turn back. But something that I've done in the past that I feel like has helped me was to set SMART goals. Okay. And not just with trading, but in everyday life. So by SMART goals, I mean, are they specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely? So for example, if I say I want to get up every morning at 6 a.m. and I'm going to go to the gym and work out for 30 minutes. Okay. So for me, that's a SMART goal. It's specific. It's measurable, it's attainable, it's realistic. I can get up at 6 a.m. and it's timely. I'm actually saying exactly what time I'm going to do it and how long I'm going to do it for. So start by setting small achievable goals. And I say this because you might be thinking like, why are we talking about SMART goals? Because you're going to learn, especially if you're a new trader, that when you do things in your real life, it's going to translate to how you move in the markets. I've read many books and I've listened to podcasts, and they always talk about how you actually learn how you are. You learn your vices when you start to trade. Like you learn, are you a patient person? Are you a greedy person? Because I promise you, what you do in real life is going to translate to how you trade in the markets. Okay. So start with those small things and then you'll see how it translates into your trading life. Okay. So once you do that, maybe you wake up one morning, if your normal risk tolerance is $150, maybe you dial it back some and you only risk $50 per trade. Okay. And actually stick to it, because if you go into it and you're saying you're only going to risk $50 and you're risking more and you start losing, that's just going to be more of a blow to your confidence. So actually do what you say you're going to do, and I promise you'll see a difference. Okay. All right, guys. So that's pretty much it. That's just something that I wanted to put out into the world, because I promise I've been there before, and I wish I had someone to kind of give me a pep talk with trading, especially because I feel that we see so many highlight reels. Even, in the past, I've made videos about how much I've made, but I've taken some losses. If you trade, you're going to take losses, and it is what it is. But it's all about recovering, changing our mindset, defining and refining our plan, and getting back to the money, because it's possible. Okay. So Again, if you're watching this, please don't give up. Start fresh tomorrow. Tomorrow's a new day, and let's get this money, okay? But once again, go ahead and like, subscribe. Please share my content with others. Help me help other people build financial freedom. And thank you guys for watching.